Will you take a seat, raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you.
Go have a seat. State spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Colton Rakowski, COLTON, RUT, KOWSKI.
All right, you may inquire.
Thank you. You work for Pittsfield Township Police Department,
Yes, sir.
and were you working on June 14th, 2025?
Yes, sir.
At about 9:08 p.m., did you get dispatched out to 4800 Clark Road?
The call was originally dispatched to Officer Dana and Officer Tripp. I jumped the call shortly after that bit system.
Okay. Was that about the time that the call came out, though?
Yes, sir.
All right. And when you arrived, had Ms. Hogan, to your knowledge, completed her move by that point?
To my knowledge at that time, I'm not sure.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further.
No, Your Honor. All right. Thank you.
Now that people rest.
Witnesses for the defense.
The defense calls the defendant Michael Heed.
All right. Sir, please come forward and be sworn. Not actually, the other fish, just come on up. Like. Sir, before you have a seat, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. Have a seat. Upon having a seat, please state and spell your name for the record.
It's Michael Joseph.
You may inquire. That's fine. We've got the spell.
Okay. Mr. Heed, how old are you?
So,
Now, before we get too far along on this, I want to ask you, did anything occur a couple days before June 14th that was of note in your life?
Yes, I had pretty major facial surgery.
Okay. And when you say pretty major facial surgery, what exactly did they do?
They trim my eyelids and raise my eyebrows. And there's a lot of stuff in the face.
So who did that surgery?
Dr. Simmons at Kellogg Eye.
Did they provide you with any information about what you could and could not do after the surgery?
Oh,
Just make it quick. No, I think this is going exactly, Your Honor. This shows that he could not have done some of the things that he was accused of that night.
That's the reason that you're offering this testimony.
Yes.
Judge, being told what you can and can't do has no bearing on what you do and do not do.
And certainly you're entitled to make that argument. Objections overruled, you may.
So stated shortly, what did they tell you?
with more than 5 pounds and not bent over, sleep on your back so you don't abrade the stitches. Your pillows under you so help with the swelling.
And so where were you sleeping after the surgery?
On my couch, it has rolled arms, like an extra pillow.
And as part of your preparation for this surgery, did anything in your unit provide you concern?
Yes, there's a pre-operation session and got a less detailed list of restrictions after the surgery, among them 5 pound limit on weight. So I was concerned that the apartment door, since it's heavily damped, would exert more than 5 pound pressure. So I measured it. It was indeed, in excess of 20 pounds.
Okay. And so I want to take you now to the first time you encountered Erica Hogan. Do you recall approximately what time you went out to the parking lot?
I said after 10, she said on the stand 11, I'm willing to accept that. It was dark.
Fully dark. Okay. And what did you say at that time?
I said, so it's kind of late. It's kind of noisy.
After talking with them, did you think that they were going to stop immediately or they were going to continue?
After undergoing major facial surgery, this man says he was desperate for sleep when loud moving noises echoed through his apartment hallway late at night. He claims he walked down the hall only to politely ask his neighbors to quiet down, never intending to enter their unit or cause trouble. But within seconds, voices were raised, police were called, and what he describes as a brief hallway encounter turned into a criminal accusation that would later play out in court.
I got the feeling that they were going to continue till the job was done.
Did they in fact continue until the job was done that evening? Okay. So I want to turn your attention now to the night of the 14th. Where were you in your apartment when you made the decision to talk to the Hogans?
So I'm between the couch and the recliner. I've been tired of laying in one position. I would switch to the other place and try that for a while.
And what caused you to get up?
Well, it was 9 o'clock. You showed that, it was starting to, the sky was starting to darken a little bit. My body was telling me that it was in a space where it could get some serious sleep rather than just cat napping. So I was trying to get some serious sleep.
And did you hear anything that made you get up?
I heard the Hogans and company, both downstairs and upstairs. They're both in very close proximity to my apartment.
How far is the elevator from your apartment?
About 15 feet.
And did they arrive up at the elevator before you got up or after you got up?
Oh,
And when you left your unit, what did you do? Did you, well, strike that. Did you have shoes on? Did you put shoes on before you left your unit? When you left your unit, did you see the Hogans?
I did not. I could hear them.
When did you first see anybody in the Hogan party?
Well, there's a curve in the hallway at the elevator, so once I got past the elevator, I could see them.
As you approached unit 313, did you catch up with any member of the Hogan moving party before you got to 313? When you got to apartment 313, was the door open? How close were you to the last person going into the apartment?
And maybe 5 seconds behind.
How far is it from that elevator to the Hogan's door, to the door of 313?
50, 60 feet.
When you got to the door of 313, it was open. Who did you see
Is that a
inside?
yes? You said it was open?
Yes.
Okay.
Who did you see inside the apartment?
So Erica, she was holding the door. Angela was in the laundry room, which is off to the left of the entry. And
Did you see anybody else?
the 2 young people were further in the apartment, kitchen living room area.
Could you see them?
I don't believe so right away.
And what was your purpose in going to apartment 313?
To tell them I was badly in need of sleep and that they were making more noise than I felt was necessary. And the management wants to emphasize people's right to quiet enjoyment and like a courtesy visit of complaining to the management about what you're
What happened when you started talking?
Everybody else started yelling.
Did you use the words ass grabbing when you started talking to them?
I believe it was grab ass.
What does grab assing mean?
It's from the Army, my drill sergeant alive. It means horseplay, moving around. Anything that's not directly pertaining to your assigned task.
And did they have any reaction when you use that word?
Maybe, maybe not. You know, they definitely got agitated and misunderstanding that might have been part of it.
How long did the whole encounter with Erica Hogan last?
I would guess 15 seconds.
Did you ever intentionally enter her unit?
I did not.
Did you ever touch her?
I did not.
Did you ever touch her door?
I did not.
Did you put your foot in the door to stop it from closing?
I did not.
Would you put your bare foot in one of those doors to stop it? Why not?
I mean, it may survive the incident, may not.
Okay.
Too close to call.
Your Honor, I would like to show the witness and the court the door that is to the witness's apartment to show the closing mechanism.
There you go. All right. You should be good.
All right. Oh. So
There it is.
there we go. All right. So let me back this up to start. So this is a demonstrative video just so that I can answer additional questions. We can't omit Exhibit K also. So if you turn to your book, Exhibit K.
Any objection to the admission of Exhibit K? All right, Exhibit K, the video is admitted as well as the picture of the door. Go ahead, Counsel.
So you had earlier indicated that you had concern about your own door and its weight.
You need to, correct? You need to. I don't know what's, okay, there we go. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Just to make sure we don't inadvertently project anything else. You had indicated that you had concerns about the weight of your own door. Given your concerns, were you in a mood on June 14th to push past anybody?
No, in fact, it was the impression given to me by the surgeon that my face could, in a sense, fall apart if I overexerted myself.
Okay.
In court, the defendant testified that he never crossed the apartment threshold and never touched the neighbor, insisting the entire interaction lasted less than 15 seconds. He explained that due to his recent surgery, even pushing a heavy door could have caused serious injury. The prosecution, however, questioned whether he may have stepped inside inadvertently, turning a noise complaint into an alleged unlawful entry.
You recall approximately how many sentences you tried to say to Erica Hogan?
About 3. Too much noise management concern and making a formal complaint.
Okay. And when you say management concern, has management told you as part of the residence at 4840 that everybody needs to be quiet?
Yeah, there were just a couple at that point. That was like 3 weeks after I moved in. Group emails that said, you know, reminding you that there's, you know, quiet enjoyment policy. And
When you approached Erica Hogan on the night of June 14th, what was your expectation of what was going to occur?
Well, I was hoping just to deliver the message and go back and try to be a little more quiet.
And since you have been at 4840, have other people moved in?
Yes.
Has anybody moved in later than the Hogans moved into Angela Hogan's apartment?
Angela was definitely.
Did anybody else move in as late as Erica Hogan? Did you complain to anybody else about the noise they were making moving in? In your own assessment, were the Hogans louder than other people when they were moving in?
Yes.
You didn't have any trouble opening your door that on the 14th around 9 p.m.?
Um,
Well, let me, okay. And you opened it to go talk to Angela, or excuse me, Erica. You also opened it when the officers knocked on your door?
on my crack, yes.
Well, you opened it enough so that your entire body was between the door frame and the door?
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't, when the officers asked you for identification, you went back into your apartment to get it, you didn't ask them to hold the door for you because of your eye surgery, did you?
I did not.
Okay. You told the officer that you'd put your foot inside of Erica's door?
I did.
You didn't say that.
No.
Okay. You told the officer that you didn't get into her apartment more than a foot. Is that correct?
The statement I remember is I may have put a foot in the apartment. And at that point, immediately after the incident, I wasn't sure.
So you didn't say that you didn't get into her apartment more than a foot.
Unqualified, I would not say that, no. Because I had no intention.
Did you tell the officer or not that you did not get into her apartment more than a foot?
Again, my recollection is that I told him that I may have.
Your exact words were that you got your foot, you stepped inside the apartment, but it was inadvertent. Do you recall making that statement? Do you believe the same rules apply to you as they do to Erica Hogan? So she should be able to enjoy the quiet enjoyment of her apartment?
Yes.
And not have people hold her door open? You said you saw people in
Just
the,
so that we're clear, because this apartment complex has the legal definition of what quiet enjoyment really means misconstrued.
I think we
Sure.
could probably stipulate that within the lease, Judge, the
With
court's information, they
I
redefine quiet
I know,
enjoyment.
I understand that, Mr. Tivolowski.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that the record's clear
Oh, thank you.
that we're not talking about legal quiet enjoyment, that we're talking about what the apartment complex has called quiet enjoyment.
Yes, we will stipulate to the fact that it is not the legal definition, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I actually got out Blacks last night to look at, to make sure I was thinking correctly. Thank you, Judge. You told the so we saw the video of the door closing. How is it that Erica's door didn't close behind her like in the video? Well, let me back up and I'll ask a different question. You said that you saw some people inside the apartment. Okay. And you had followed Erica over to her apartment.
Mhm.
And that's a yes? And-
She was not the last. Her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend were the last two in line, so they were, I guess, essentially the ones that was following.
But you passed them and actually caught up to Erica.
Never passed anyone.
Okay.
We were all in the compartment.
Um, the, you told the officers that the person you were talking to, was that Erica?
Yes.
Okay. You told them that she turned her back to you. Is that correct? Does that signify that she doesn't want to talk to you at that point?
I think it was, my impression was it was to get out of the way of the door so they could close it.
Okay.
At least in part.
Now, and you told them that when she turned her back to you, you still wanted to tell them that they were being too loud.
Yeah, I wanted to finish my statement, and the noise created by the four people in the apartment yelling at the same time made it difficult for her to hear.
So Erica was past her door, letting it close by this point?
She was still in front of him. Yeah, she turned and was, going to get out from in front of it.
Earlier on your direct examination, when you were asked if you had touched Erica's door, you shrugged your shoulders. Do you recall doing that? Okay. Do you recall for sure whether or not you touched her door? We don't want you to guess.
Her door may have touched me, as far as sticking my foot in the door. That did not.
Okay.
Police testimony revealed conflicting accounts, with officers recalling statements suggesting his foot may have crossed the doorway. The defendant admitted uncertainty in the chaotic moment, explaining that shouting from multiple people made it difficult to know exactly where he stood. What seems like inches of space inside a doorway suddenly became the central issue of the case.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Sir, just so that I'm clear, your intent on going down was to tell them that they were being too loud.
Right, that I, stood a realistic chance of actually getting some sleep for the
Okay.
first time in a couple of days.
And the prior occasion, what was your intent on approaching them at the truck?
Well, that was much later. That was, she said 11. I just said after 10. And that's the generally accepted definition of quiet time. My understanding is between 10 at night and 8 in the morning. So,
Okay, well, so my question was, when you went down to the truck on the prior occasion, what was your intent? Just to tell them that it was too
yeah,
loud?
tell them it's after 10.
Okay. It's been indicated that you said that in questioning from the officers that you may have inadvertently stepped into the apartment.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Okay. When you left your apartment and were going down the hallway, did you have any intention on going into her apartment?
No.
You get to the door, and at some point while you're at the door, you don't know whether or not you crossed the threshold. Is that correct?
I was trying to stay close to her ear because there was a lot of ambient noise that I had to talk around.
Okay. So she's at the doorway, right? At the time that you get to the doorway.
Yes.
How far from, if you recall, from the threshold was she while you're at the door?
She was like at the handle end of the door with the door like fully open, and she was holding on to the door.
So when you approached the door, The door was fully open.
Yes.
And so you're standing there talking. All right. When you say she's at the handle end of the door, was her body to what would become the outside of the door or the inside of the door? If you know what I mean by that.
Kind of both. She was at the end, you know, with her front like bent around on the side and her, you know, back maybe behind the door.
Okay, so, and you've, by your description and by what you were doing, what I took from that is her body is actually behind the door.
Part of it.
Part of her body is behind the door. Is the door closing at that point
No.
or she's just behind it?
Yeah.
Part of her is behind the door. And is her face facing out?
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, you're talking to.
Yes.
To your understanding, at that point that you're saying anything, is she trying to close the door?
No, I didn't get the impression anyone was trying to do anything other than make a lot of ways and scare me away.
Okay, when you say that, was somebody saying something to you?
Oh, they were all yelling, you know, get out, go away, but whatever.
Okay. At some point you leave and the door closed and you walk back to your apartment. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So would it be correct in saying that once you arrived at the door, it was not, it was anything but quiet necessarily?
Well, as soon as I opened my mouth to say "You're making too much noise," and everyone lit up immediately, almost immediately.
Got it. Okay. All right. Any questions based on the court question?
I don't have nothing further, Your Honor.
I do have one other question. The previous occasion, did you report that to management?
I don't believe I did.
Okay. This occasion, did you report it to management?
I did not, because by the time the next day rolled around and management was in a position to receive the message, things had, you know, kind of snowballed. So we were on a different path at that point.
Gotcha. Sir, if you thought there was too much noise, is there a reason why you didn't call the police?
Well, two reasons. I moved to this apartment complex from Evergreen, which is also in Pittsfield Township, and I called them with noise complaints a couple of times. And they told me not our problem, that should be taken up with management. And also the management sent out a group email that said, you know, don't call the police about noise complaints, take it to management.
Got it. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Any questions?
Nothing. No.
All right. You may step down. Thank you, sir. Any additional witnesses for the defense?
Your Honor, the defense rests.
All right. Any rebuttal witnesses for the people?
1 second, Judge. Just recall Officer Rakowski very quickly.
All right. Sir, please come up. I remind you that you're still under oath.
Sure, Your Honor.
Thank you. Were you there when officers were talking with the defendant?
Yes, Officer Dana and I to speak with them.
Okay. And do you recall when the defendant was asked how far he made it into the apartment?
He stated that he inadvertently had stepped into the apartment.
Okay. Did he say how far or how much?
Not that I recall, but it was, I don't recall, it's something to do with the what he did, inadvertently stepping foot into the apartment.
Okay. And did you recall if he made any gestures to demonstrate what he did?
No.
Okay. Were you wearing any body camera that day?
Yes.
If I show you that body camera, would that help to refresh your memory?
Yes.
Okay. May I approach the witness, Judge?
Okay. Do you know what he's going to show?
Oh, sorry. It's his body camera.
Yeah, no, we've seen all the body camera footage.
All right.
Sorry. Thank you. Okay. Did seeing that help to refresh your memory?
Yes.
Okay. And did the defendant make any gestures demonstrating what he did with his foot?
He did make a stepping motion, stepping.
Okay.
Doorway.
Okay, like across the threshold. All right, thank you. That's all.
Was that in proximity when he said he may have inadvertently stepped in?
Yes, that was during what we were talking about.
All right.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, you may step down. Thank you, sir. Any additional witnesses for the people?
No.
Closing argument.
Now the court must decide whether this was an innocent attempt to restore peace or a violation of personal boundaries protected by law. One open door, one exhausted neighbor, and one misunderstood moment raise a powerful question. When does asking for quiet become crossing the line?
Your Honor, I believe that we've established beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant did enter without breaking apartment 313 at the apartment complex
What
4800.
would be the requisite intent that people would need to show regarding this offense?
Judge, I think it's not a specific intent crime. I think it's more
I understand
generalized
it's not a
intent,
specific intent crime, but
a generalized intent to do the act, and the fact that he admitted to completing the act and Erica testified.
general intent to do what act?
To cross the threshold. If I may, Judge, the jury instruction in a home invasion case, which is very similar to this, the jury instruction for entering without permission, there's case law that says any entrance, however slight, is
I
sufficient.
understand
So I think
that's not what I'm asking.
so. I believe, and I would suggest to you that the intent to cross the threshold, which in this case allowed the defendant to get his statement in, to get his admonition of the Hogans into them because he wanted to
But if
tell
it's an
them.
inadvertent, you would agree that that would not be the requisite intent necessary, general or otherwise.
If it's an accident, that is, I would say that's likely a defense. And I
Well,
think
then give me your definition of inadvertent.
I think inadvertent and accident are probably co-equal in this situation.
Okay.
However, the fact that the door didn't close, and we saw how the door would close if no one's in the way, tells us that there was an intent to prevent the door from being closed, which means he meant to cross the threshold. And then, as Erica described, he put his arm sort of around the door because he wanted to tell them what he wanted to tell them, which was, I'm upset with you. Effectively, I'm mad at you. I'm upset with you and you're making too much noise. Knock it off.
Or I went to sleep.
Yep. So that's the argument, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Closing.
Keep this very brief, Your Honor. First, the defendant believes that the court identified the key issue here, which is the intent. This would be a general intent to cross the threshold. I believe his testimony is that if he did enter the apartment, it was inadvertent. He did not have the intent required to cross the threshold. I also think that the two parties are telling very different stories about the same event, and that often happens in cases like this. But I would point out some of the inconsistencies in Ms. Hogan's recitation. She first said that the defendant kind of wrestled past her and entered her apartment. And then she said that when the door was almost completely closed, he stuck his foot in. It just, as she was reciting it, none of that made sense when you saw the video of how the door closes, that he could push past her and somehow, have her come around him and everything. I mean, that recitation is a much larger, almost altercation. We believe what the evidence shows is that, the defendant had encountered Ms. Hogan previously. They had been moving in, well after